So in 1991, Julie was in London doing drama, underground radio, and working in a bar when she met Paul, the love of her life. I was going to tell the specific circumstances, but my understanding is Paul wanted to communicate that himself because it's so funny and strange.
Much like Paul.
Paul is funny. He's not strange. At first, the family was a little concerned that Paul may not know what he'd gotten into. But soon it became clear that he had more than enough verve to match Julie, and together they built a great life. They got married, had Leah in 1991, and 2 years later came to the States to live in Basking Ridge. Charlie, where's Charlie? Charlie was born in 1996. And the Randalls have been here ever since, except for a little blip in California, which was taken care of immediately, and they're back. And they've built up a warm network of friends and dogs. So, since they moved to Basking Ridge, Claudia and I had the pleasure of raising our families with Paul and Julie. And our children are somewhat older than the Randall girls, but Madeline and Leah became friends, and Charlie and Alice became friends, and Alice and Nat has always felt close to all the Randalls, who have come to see Nat as his burgeoning musical career grows. So I will always treasure these good times we had with Julie and her family. Throughout the lives of our family, there were traditions and places that meant so much to all of us. Julie and Annie went with my parents to Cape May, New Jersey.
Harbor.
Where was it?
Stone Harbor.
Stone Harbor. What was the show you filmed there? Jersey Shore or something like that? And Martha's Vineyard when they were young. We've all met in these places for reunions since, but mainly we had Christmas family reunions with the Randalls in Mexico for many years as the California aunts, Tori and Annie, came to join us with my parents who kind of sponsored us. There were summer picnics and tennis games at the Milldam Club near my parents, and Easters at our family friends, the Forsters, Thanksgiving with the O'Briens, and we have two of the O'Briens here. Thank you so much for coming. And through all of these, I came to further know and love Julie and her family, and they cemented the strong sense of closeness that we have developed over time. This is the part that I may not make it through. Last March, as you all know, the doctors discovered Julie's advanced cancer. She did not have much time to get prepared, but Julie handled her illness with incredible grace and courage. She was surrounded by a cocoon of loving friends who brought flowers, presents, and especially delicious food. And I think you can see the cocoon here and hear it too. This communal support continued unabated for 9 months, which I understand is remarkable. Very often there's kind of a flurry at the beginning and then people kind of forget about it and it dies off. It never died off, which is remarkable. It was extraordinary proof to Julie that she was deeply loved by so many people, which meant a great deal to her. During this time, Paul was a superhero. And I mean it. You cannot believe what he did. He sometimes worked 24 hours a day to attend to all of Julie's needs, manage her medical care, keep the house clean, parent the girls, do the laundry, walk the dogs, and keep up with his work at Pharma Design. All of that he did every single day. It was unbelievable. I remember at one time when a delicious fish and scallop casserole with asparagus appeared. I asked which one of the friends had created this delicious dish. It was fabulous, frankly. And Paul said, "Oh, I just whipped it up." I was flabbergasted. I couldn't do that with 2 days planning. He just kind of threw it together on top of everything else he was doing, and he closed a big deal 10 minutes later. So I have one final memory of Julie, that I will cherish forever. 2 days before she passed away, I visited her. She was only conscious in short bursts and not really speaking. As I started to leave the room, excuse me, tissue break. As I started to leave the room, she yelled out in a strong voice, which is very unusual because she could barely breathe at that point, "Hugh!" I was alarmed because it sounded like she was in distress. As I ran back over to her, she said in a loud and clear voice, "I love you." "I love you too, Julie, and always will."